What's up guys, Andrew here on my channel Geared Inc., where I get to share what I'm passionate about with you. And today we're going to talk about making the jump from Intel to Ryzen. Should you do it? Well, after 90 days of using Ryzen, I get to share my experience and you guys get to see if it's maybe right for you. Alright guys, so obviously here's some of the numbers I ran as far as the productivity of this chip. Now I am running the 1700X overclocked to 3.8 gigahertz in this bench run, which I did a little while ago, and then I've done some new ones since then, but unfortunately I wasn't able to get any of the footage up. But I think that enough tests have been done that you can find ones better done than mine. But as far as for just what you're getting with a 1700 and above, which is about the same cost as a 7700K Kaby Lake, you're getting, twice the cores, 16 threads. It's one of those things that's kind of hard to put into words until you start using it for productivity. But as far as for just kind of the power horse that this is in any kind of production-based program, it's kind of hard to beat. Alright guys, so let's address the elephant in the room, gaming. Now it's true Intel has a higher ICP or individual clocks per second, meaning that you're going to get better frame rate in games. However, the difference at this point is very, very minute. Even at 1080p, the difference to me doesn't warrant any considerable loss in value, since you're not going to be noticing most of those FPS differences anyway, because typically they're in the higher range depending on your GPU as well. At the top you have my Dota 2 stream while recording in OBS, and there was no artifacts, no FPS lost at all. You have PUBG at 2K in the bottom left, Andromeda and 4K in the bottom right, and it's just one of those things where it's kind of hard to explain. But I've been gaming on Intel for a long time, and with Ryzen I felt there was no difference, and I felt that even if I had given up something, I gained far more in my ability to stream and game at the same time. So at this point, Ryzen kind of has Intel beat because you can get more cores for less, which through testing has shown to be better for streaming and gaming. Now the final thing I want to talk about, of course, is cost. Now again, Intel is still faster, it's been proven. However, the difference is very small, and I think where AMD really had it right is they're keeping the consumer at the forefront of their thoughts. The recent development and release of Kaby Lake X was an absolute nightmare, and looking at still back at the cost, I was looking at these charts, it kind of struck me now more than ever that AMD is really trying to position themselves to really appeal, in a way where they haven't in a very long time. If you look at some of the costs, which obviously all of those 1700, 1700X, and 1800X have gone down in price, it's now more apparent than ever that AMD really is trying to create more value. And I felt for the cost of what I was getting versus what I would have been paying for Intel, and what I was losing was so minute that Ryzen's just a better value. Alright guys, so there you have it. My choice is Ryzen, and so I want to end this video by going over a couple quick things. First off, I was on Intel for 5 years, and that's because they're the better value. Right now, for what I need, AMD is the better overall value. Tomorrow, if a new company comes out and they're better than both, that's the one I'm going to go with. I don't care. I'm not a fanboy. I just kneel at the altar of value, and right now, Ryzen is a damn hard value to beat. So if you're going to be gaming and streaming, you no longer need to set up a second rig if you're doing a 6-core and up system. If you're going to be doing productivity like YouTube videos, it's super fast. If you're going to be gaming, now granted I game at 2K and 4K, so I don't lose anything because at that level all the processing power is getting pushed onto the GPU, but even at 1080p, the difference in most titles is so small, and even on the titles where it's bigger, it's at usually, the higher level of FPS, so you're not going to notice anyway. So if you need an all-around PC that you want to game, stream, do productivity, Ryzen right now is really the way to go. And that's coming from a guy who's been on Intel, again, for the last 5 years. If you're going to be just gaming, it's been said, but Intel still has, the edge over Ryzen in that, in that sense. But for me, just having the ability to do so many different things on my CPU without sacrificing virtually anything, it's the clear winner, obviously at the price point as well. So I hope this video was helpful. I'm one of those people who I like to try things out for myself. I like to get opinions from obviously people I trust, but nothing to me is as good as personal experience. So I hope that this video helps with some people's decision on this. I hope that maybe you've gotten value out of this, obviously, but if you love the video, leave me a thumbs up. If you hated it, leave me a thumbs down. get subscribed, leave a comment. You know, I always say this, but the more people I know who want me to make these videos, more motivated I'm going to be. But I'm going to make them anyway. And we hope to see you next time here on Geared Inc.